Hey, it's Jason Coleman, mortgage broker with Price Mortgage, and today we're going to discuss whether it's a good time or a bad time to buy a home. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to try and put the pros and the cons and let you decide, because I don't think there is one answer. Is it a good time? Is it a bad time? Because it depends on your scenario. So let's start out with some of the cons. The iBuyers, the Zillows, the Open Doors, they've all pulled out nationwide of buying houses. They canceled all their buy contracts across the nation, okay? I don't think they thought it was a good time to buy because of the uncertainty of the economy, right? I think they think house values are going to dip, okay? That's one con. Second, credit is tightening. Because of the forbearance issue, forbearance creates a liquidity issue in lending because the servicer still has to make your payment, and then if you can't make your balloon payment at the end of 4 months, you can modify, they can foreclose, you can short sell, whatever, depending on where we are. That's going to create issues, and we don't know how that's going to trickle down into the economy. That could be 4 to 6 months. It could be 4 to 6 months before we actually see what's happening. On the pros over here, we have super low interest rates, we have super low inventory, we have super pent-up demand here in Maricopa County to buy houses. There's just not enough houses being built fast enough to satisfy the demand. Okay, so that is the positive. I think that's going to hold the bottom on the entry-level homes, say like the 180 purchase price to maybe the 300,000 purchase price. I do think that values are going to come down for a bit, but I do think that real estate will lead the way back in because there is so much demand for real estate. So my job here is, as a trusted advisor, is to try and give you both sides of the picture. And if I do that, then I'm going to sleep well tonight, and you're going to be able to make a better educated decision. So let's go back here to the cons, and let's look at the unemployment numbers. Now, a lot of this is temporary. A lot of y'all are on furlough, a lot of businesses have shut down, but there will be some businesses that just don't survive. Say like this barbershop over here by me, I went over here because Cheryl told me on the radio, she heard they're going to cut out nail salons and hair cutting places as essential. So I went in there, the barber had no idea that they were shutting the place down in 24 hours. And that place is already struggling because they're a brand new business. Will they survive? Will your company survive? I don't know. So that's a con. So you have unemployment supposed to be at around 15%. That's what Janet Yellen is predicting. And on the other hand, you have super low interest rates. So the feds are artificially stimulating and propping up the stock market. They're keeping the interest rates low. They are, doing the best that they can, sending y'all some money. I got some money today and I don't even know why, but I'm not going to argue with that. So you have down payment assistance. That's pretty much gone away. I can still do it, but I'm very hesitant to do it for anybody, because if I get into the middle of this transaction and then they pull the rug out from me, everybody's going to be mad at me. So I'm kind of steering away from down payment assistance. Plus, if we do take a 5%, 10% value hit, and I put you in one of these, no money down, no skin in the game type loans, you're going to be upside down within the first 6 months that you move into your home. If you stay in your home for 5 years, it's probably not going to be a big deal, because real estate always bounces back. It always does. If you go back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, real estate's always going up like this because of inflation. Just like the price of gas, just like the cost of bread and milk, it always just goes up. We just can't control the cost of inflation. So real estate always, in the long run, is the best investment, in my opinion. Tell me what better investment there really is. Every time you make a payment, you're paying yourself, and you're building equity. So that is another pro. Here we are, we're in lockdown because of the beer bug, and you have low inventory. You have sellers that don't want you in their house. They're doing some kind of virtual stuff. There's still being houses sold. There's still being houses being bought, but where will we be in 3 or 4 months? And I'm going to let you decide with the unemployment numbers, the tightening of credit, how much liquidity will there be in 3 months? We don't know. How are the forbearance issues going to affect the servicers? Well, we just went through a big refinance boom. We're going through it right now, and that's affecting servicers' liquidity because their values of their portfolios are going down as people refinance out of it and into another portfolio. So they already got hammered there. Then we got into the lockdown. Now we have the stimulus offering the forbearance, and if you go into forbearance, that servicer still needs to make the payments, still needs to pay your taxes, and still needs to make the principal and interest payment to the actual note holder, the investor. There's two different entities. So if we have 2 million people filing for forbearance, that's going to create a liquidity issue in the market. So on the other side, the government's not doing anything to help these servicers out on the Fannie and Freddie Mac side. Over here on the Ginnie Mae with FHA and VA, Ginnie Mae is doing something to help those servicers out. So I don't know whether there's going to be a bunch of foreclosures because of this forbearance, and that could drive values down. I know there's hardly any appetite for jumbo loans right now, and bank statement programs, there's no appetite for that at all. The government might be coming in investing some into that, so that might bring a little liquidity back to that market. So homes over $510,000, those loans are jumbos, and there's no loans for that right now. That's definitely going to bring down the values and make it more difficult for sellers to sell those homes unless you have $1 million cash and are buying your house cash. Anyways, so you have the low rates and you have the potential of these values coming down. So would you buy right now? Well, each little real estate community is its own economy. Say like if you're up in Cholo, that's got mostly retirees who don't rely on employment to sustain their lifestyle. They usually put 25% down, $100,000 down, and they have guaranteed income. So that community is a different economy than here in Maricopa County, say like in Peoria or Glendale, where you and I, we rely on working to, save money and to pay our bills. So there's a lot of pros and cons. If you have any more questions that are more directly towards you, because if you only have 3% to put down versus 20% to put down, it's going to weigh different on your decision on whether it is a good time or a bad time to buy that house. So if you have any questions, I'd love to just talk frankly with you, and hopefully I can answer your questions honestly and make it easier for you to decide whether it's a good time or a bad time to purchase a home. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time,